Hi, everyone. My name is Jay. I'm a 3L at Vanderbilt Law School. I'm going to be one of the social media ambassadors this year. I'm here to talk about my journey to law school. A little bit more about myself. I was born in Southern California, but I spent a lot of my childhood years in South Korea. A lot of people can't tell, but English is actually my second language. Both my parents and my older sister live in Korea, and I started off kind of attending Korean elementary school. And when I was in about third or fourth grade, I spent about a year in the United States, which is where I learned a lot of my English. When I went back to Korea, I attended an international school for a few years. After that, I relocated to the United States where I attended middle and high school. Growing up, I spent a lot of time kind of playing music. I was a pianist growing up, and I played the clarinet growing up. So a lot of my time was kind of spent either practicing, taking lessons, attending rehearsals, or performing. And I played music in college. I played clarinet in the orchestra. And in law school, I'm not a part of like an official music group or anything like that. But anytime kind of I feel like playing my instrument, I'll practice in my apartment for like an hour or two. Great. My parents also kind of taught me golf at an early age, so I played golf growing up. I'm a big runner, and I like running with my law school friends. So outside of my kind of academic time where I spend reading for law school, I still make time for myself to do things that I like to do. When I was deciding on what career path I wanted to go on, I knew I wanted the opportunity to do substantive work early on rather than like mostly administrative tasks. And because I'd majored in economics and minored in math and comparative literature, I had the opportunity to kind of talk to people who are going down different paths from consulting to finance to med school or to kind of grad school for their PhDs. And I learned that the field of law was kind of a career path that would give me the opportunity to do substantive tasks early on in my career. And with my kind of quantitative background in economics and math and my writing background in comparative literature, I thought those two would mesh really well, especially about like with corporate law. And that's when I really decided that I wanted to go to law school and started looking at my options then. I graduated in 2020 and during the COVID lockdowns, and I was actually like planning on attending Vanderbilt Law that year. But after my virtual graduation and after the admitted student stay that I was planning on attending got canceled, I was kind of faced with the decision of kind of taking the leap of faith and attending a law school in a city that I'd never visited, as well as kind of risk at least part of my law school experience being online, or just kind of taking some time off in between undergrad and law school, which is what I ultimately ended up doing. I took 3 years off. For the first year, I kind of was like a traditional gap year for me. I took time to do a lot of things that I didn't get to do in undergrad. I read a lot of books. I got into cycling. I got back into running. And then I worked as a paralegal at a DA's office for about 2 years. And when I was kind of go through the reapplication process, I got into Vanderbilt Law again, and travel restrictions had eased up by then, so admitted student stay was happening again. So I decided to go, and I got to sit in on Professor Allensworth's contracts class, and I found it so engaging and thought if all of my law school classes are like this, then I'm going to have a really good time. And another part of admitted student stay is kind of engaging with student organizations on campus. That's kind of looking around on campus, seeing what the law school had to offer. A law student kind of stopped me, introduced himself, and asked me what I was looking for in a law school experience, as well as kind of what was holding me back from just committing to Vanderbilt Law. I told him I wanted like a smaller class size where I got to know all of my classmates. I wanted really good relationships with my professors. Just overall like a friendly environment that I can be myself in. And he just kind of looked at me and said, "You're gonna love it at Vanderbilt Law School. You're not gonna regret your decision. It's what we have what you're looking for." So I like flew back home and kind of deposited my seat deposit after that. And I'm really happy with my decision. I know all of my graduating classmates. I know most of the 2Ls. I am still getting to know the 1Ls, but I'm confident that by the time I graduate, I will know most, if not all of them. I have really good relationships with my professors, and it has really been an engaging and enriching experience for me. And professionally, things have really worked out for me too. My 1L summer, I worked as a research assistant for Professor Allensworth, and I attended Vanderbilt in Venice, which is the law school's summer abroad program. My 2L summer, I worked at a big law firm in New York, and after graduation, I'm clerking for a year, and then the road's kind of wide open for me. So if you're watching this, if you're a prospective applicant, I hope I got to kind of give you an insight into what my law school journey has been like, as well as what a Vanderbilt law school experience has been. But if you have already been admitted, I hope I can be the one to kind of go up to you at Admitted Students Day and ask what's holding you back from committing to Vanderbilt Law School. So thank you for watching this video. It was really fun to kind of share my story with y'all. And if you don't already, follow us on social media. We answer a lot of your questions and also share a lot about our own law school experience. So hope to see you there or at Admitted Students Days.